Today is August 15th, 2016. It's day 22 of the PTSD challenge. And so I've come to the end of the challenge shortly. I have a very personal message to share. Something that not very many people know. I've talked about a lot of things in the last few videos for the last 22 days about my beliefs, PTSD, how it's affecting people, etc. The one thing I didn't share was that in November of 2015, I was diagnosed with PTSD. I'd lived with it for 21 years and not known. My exposure was a unique moment in time. Well, it was a number of hours actually. While I served in Rwanda, Africa in 1994 on a mission called Operation Passage. It was a humanitarian relief operation that was sent to Rwanda after the genocide of almost 800,000 Tutsis. And we were there to provide medical support, clean drinking water, etc. Of all the things that I saw there, which were, human beings should see those. One particular event happened to me that I won't discuss on this video that triggered or caused my PTSD. But when I got back, and after I got through a number of weeks of nightmares, I thought I was fine. My friends and family told me I was acting differently. They couldn't tell me what it was, but they just could. In any case, I lived on, carried on with my careers as working as a sheriff for a short period of time, Coast Guard rescue specialist on the hovercraft, West Coast, as a rescue specialist diver for 8 years. Subsequently becoming a paramedic, which I've done for just under 15. And through those jobs, some of them I've seen a number of things also. But the one incident that happened in Rwanda is the one that caused my PTSD. One event that triggered it. In the summer of 2015, I read Chris Linford's book, Warrior Rising. And when I read that book, and read specifically his story about his time in Rwanda, he was my platoon commander when I was there. And he was a lieutenant back then. And I got some very strong triggers from reading his book, partly because some of the stories he wrote about, I was one of the medics that was there in the story, unbeknown to him. And the reason I say unbeknown to him is because I wasn't named at the time in his book. But in any case, because of these strong triggers, I managed to connect with him and talk to him on the phone. We had a chat. I think it was about an hour and a half. And he encouraged me to get a proper assessment with Veterans Affairs. Ironically, I had already been accepted to enter the Veterans Transition Network program, which had started, I believe it was September of that year. And that was a 10-day program over 3 weekends. And I was entered in that program not because I had PTSD, because I didn't have a diagnosis back then, but simply because of my exposure and emotions I had been carrying and triggers from Chris's book. So I was entered into the program. That was a very emotional program, but I learned a lot. And I really did learn that I was harboring a lot of stuff for years. In any case, November of 2015, I was officially diagnosed through a series of tests and evaluations from Veterans Affairs, and I was given a diagnosis of PTSD from my exposure in Rwanda. Well, even though through the Veterans Transition Network program I was going through a number of emotional events, and I realized I had some stuff to work on. When I got that diagnosis initially, there was a great deal of shame associated. And I didn't want to believe it. I felt like I was a strong enough person that I could handle anything, and that it was not possible that I was not strong enough to resist an emotional exposure, PTSD, or occupational stress injury. So, anyways, the good thing was I began treatment, and I'm currently under treatment, and it's going very well. To just give you an idea, I was never suicidal, fortunately, in those 21 years. However, it affected my personal relationships, my relationships with friends, my work, and my way of dealing with it primarily was, rather than allow emotions to affect me from my PTSD exposure, I became very aggressive, reactive, abrupt, and I would create walls up. That was what I did to protect myself. So the thing is, the message here is that no matter how long ago you may have been exposed to something, you can get treatment, you can get better. I'm not 100%, but things are doing very well. And I'm grateful, Chris, for that chat we had, because you turned the tables for me. And as well as your book. And I recommend Chris's book, Warrior Rising, to anybody who has done a tour, knows anybody who's suffered an OSI or PTSD exposure, or themselves are dealing with something or thinking about it. It's very informative, and Chris reveals a lot from his heart in that book. So I really encourage anyone to read that. Before I do my push-ups, hopefully you can hear me over the sounds of the jets flying past from the Abbotsford Air Show yesterday, departing. I have a unique nomination and challenge today to our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. Yes, sir, I'm challenging you to the PTSD 22 challenge. However, my challenge is modified. As I understand, you're a busy person, and you're in a political position. So therefore, my challenge is reduced to one day, one set of 22 push-ups, and a personal donation to the Wounded Warriors of Canada by yourself. That is my challenge. I'm not sure if you are going to take me up on this. I know that recently you were in Vancouver and you attended a parade in support of a group of individuals. So I'm asking for your support to support your soldiers, your veterans, and your emergency services personnel with a single 22 push-up and a $22 personal donation to the Wounded Warriors of Canada. With that, this video is much longer than I expected. I will do my 22 push-ups, and that will be the end of my challenge. But the work continues, and this was to bring awareness, so hopefully my message today has brought awareness, and I encourage everybody who supports this cause to donate $22 to Wounded Warriors of Canada, to participate in the challenge if you are physically able to. If you're not, simply a donation is also supporting the cause. And also to share this video with as many people as possible to get the message out to our Prime Minister to be exposed to my challenge to him today. Well, here we go. Time for my 22. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 1 for the country. All right, that's it. A long message today, long video. For those that are suffering and dealing with this, there is treatment. So go talk to someone, get assessed, and get treated. And whatever you do, don't commit suicide because of this. It's treatable. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening, and have a good day.